The show begins in a school cafeteria where Taylor, the girl from the series The 100, is being intimidated by her classmates who insult her. The head cheerleader says Taylor can't sit with them anymore because she slept with a guy the leader liked. So Taylor goes to an almost empty table where April, a slightly heavier classmate, is sitting. April tries to comfort Taylor, but she responds rudely, attacking April's appearance before leaving angrily. The next day in the bathroom, Taylor is crying and touching up her makeup when April approaches from behind. Taylor, scared, apologizes for her previous comments, but April, not wanting to talk, attacks her, which leads to a physical fight. April violently attacks Taylor, pushing her face against the mirror, banging her head on the sink, and finally trying to drown her in the toilet, taking Taylor's life. During the fight, a dark tear runs down April's eye, indicating that something supernatural is happening. Hey, the movie I'm going to summarize isn't actually a movie, but a series. It's called Supernatural, Season 4, Episode 13. If you like suspense movies or supernatural content, you've surely heard of this series. It's one of the best in this genre, if not the best. I highly recommend watching it. That's why I invite you to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and leave a like to receive the best recaps. Later, April becomes confused and ends up trusting our hero, Sam Winchester, who is posing as a lawyer. Taylor gets frustrated because nobody believes her, even though she's telling the truth, but Sam calms her down, saying he's there to help and encourages her to tell everything about what happened. Though reluctant, April reveals that she felt controlled during the fight, knowing what she was doing but unable to stop. When Sam asks if she smelled anything strange, like sulfur or black smoke, during the possession, April ignores the question as if it were absurd. Later, in the car, Sam gives his brother Dean a detailed update about April's situation. He says that April might have been possessed by something evil, even though there weren't those strange things like black smoke and rotten egg smell. Then, he says they should go check out the school to see what's happening. Dean initially doesn't want to, but keeps prodding Sam about their old drama at Truman High, the school they had passed through. He asks Sam why on earth he wants to go back there, but agrees to investigate after Sam insists. Then the story goes back to 1997, when Sam is starting school and accompanies his older brother Dean. Sam feels upset because he always has to change schools and leave friends behind, but Dean says that when their dad returns, everything will work out and they'll be happy. Later, Sam and Dean enter the classroom. Dean tried to seduce even the teacher. Meanwhile, Sam seems kind of rough and cocky while trying to find his place. Then he accidentally drops a butterfly, which catches the attention of a nerdy guy named Barry. Barry is impressed with how quickly Sam reacts and introduces himself. But then a big problem comes up. A big guy named Dirk starts bothering Barry, pulling his ear. When Sam sees this, he intervenes and firmly tells Dirk to stop, leaving the big guy surprised by Sam's decisive attitude. Back to now, Dean dresses up funny, wearing tight shorts, knee-high socks, and a red headband. He becomes Coach Ron, a crazy substitute physical education teacher at Truman High School. Then Dean presents Dodgeball as the highlight of the day, saying it's the best game ever invented. In the middle of the Dodgeball chaos, Sam arrives and tells Dean he didn't find anything demonic or strange in the school. After that, Sam admits he was wrong before and suggests they leave after lunch. Then the scene changes to a laboratory, where a nerdy student is messing with a blender. Suddenly, when his classmate makes fun of him in the classroom, the nerd loses his temper and sticks his fist in the bully's blender, causing a nasty injury and bleeding. Right after, the nerd faints, and a dark liquid comes out of his ears. Sam arrives and realizes this is a sign that there's a demon in the school. Later, Sam looks in the school lockers for supernatural things and talks with Dean about what's happening. They don't find anything strange in the school, but they think maybe a ghost has possessed the nerd. When they investigate the school records, they also discover some strange things about the cheerleaders. They discovered that a student named Barry Cook killed himself in 1998 in the same bathroom where another student, Taylor, died. It seems that Barry's way of acting involved using more studious students as targets to get revenge on bullies. Dean asks if this is what Barry used to do, and Sam responds sadly, saying that Barry had a difficult life and he knows him well. In a past scene in 1997, Barry is walking down the hallway when a bully purposely knocks him down. Seeing this, Sam comes to help. helping him pick up his things. While talking, Barry downplays the incident, sharing his plan to study veterinary medicine at Michigan State because he thinks animals are nicer than people. Meanwhile, Dean is in the locker room kissing a girl named Amanda Heckerling, who is famous at school. Dean suggests going out to watch I Spit on Your Grave at midnight, but Amanda refuses. She explains that she has a strict curfew at 11 o'clock, and breaking it would result in a long punishment from her parents. When Amanda asked Dean about his curfew, he said he didn't have a specific time because their father was out of town. He and Sam were in a motel, enjoying the freedom. Amanda wanted to know if he missed his father, but Dean didn't answer and changed the subject. While Sam and Barry were walking down the hallway, Dirk, a bully, appeared and started provoking Barry. Sam told Barry to get out of there and not get involved in a fight, even with Dirk's provocations. Barry ran to look for a teacher, but Dirk grabbed Sam by the shoulder, turned him around and punched him. Sam got furious, but before he could react, a teacher separated. Now, Sam and Dean found Barry's grave and performed a ritual for his spirit to rest in peace. After saying goodbye, they burned his bones and left. In the car, Sam thought about his friendship with Barry and wondered if he could have helped more. Dean reminded him of the problems Barry faced, like his parents divorcing, fights at school, and his use of medication. He also assures Sam that it wasn't his fault and expresses relief about leaving that town and school behind. Back to 1997, Dean confronts Sam about the incident with Dirk, expressing his desire to seek revenge. However, Sam states that he didn't need Dean's help and explains that he didn't want to retaliate because he wanted to be seen as a normal student. Hearing this, Dean questions Sam's vision, asking if it's considered normal to endure a beating. Sam avoids answering and changes the conversation to their father, asking if they received any news from him. Dean informs Sam that their father's work will require at least another week. Sam tries to comfort Dean by mentioning his relationship with Amanda, but Dean reveals that she wants him to meet her parents, which makes him uncomfortable. Later, after class ends, Sam's teacher, Mr. Wyatt, asks him to stay to discuss a writing assignment. Mr. Wyatt questions Sam's choice of a fictional topic, as Sam had written about killing a werewolf the previous summer. Sam thinks he might get a bad grade, but Mr. Wyatt gives him an A and says he's good at writing. Mr. Wyatt suggests that Sam consider becoming a writer, but Sam says he needs to follow the family business. Mr. Wyatt asks Sam if he really wants to be part of the family business, and Sam realizes that no one has ever asked him that question before. Now Sam remembers the conversation he had with Mr. Wyatt, who told him that his family is surgeons, but he wanted to be a teacher. Inspired by this, Sam asks Dean to take him back to Truman High School to talk to Mr. Wyatt again later. On the way, Sam helps a lost girl, but she suddenly attacks him. She reveals herself to be possessed, but Sam pushes her away using salt to expel the spirit. Then, Dean offers Sam whiskey while they discuss how to deal with the ghost. Sam is surprised that the ghost knew his name, even after they had burned Barry's bones. Meanwhile, Dean looks at the papers and realizes that all 3 people who died were on the same bus. They think the ghost must be related to the bus, because ghosts usually stay near places that are important to them. Then, they investigate the bus and find signs that something supernatural is nearby, measured by something called an electromagnetic field. Since no one died on the bus, they understand they need to find what makes the spirit connected to it. Meanwhile, Dean looks in the driver's area and finds a new paper about the bus that belonged to the father of a bully named Dirk McGregor Sr. In a past moment, in 1997, Dirk pushes a guy named Barry when they were going to the bus. Sam tries to stop him, but Dirk pushes him and provokes him. After a while, Sam decides to defend himself, dodging Dirk's punches and giving him a strong beating, using the skills he learned from his father, who was a demon hunter. Sam wins and calls Dirk Dirk the Jerk. Everyone repeats the nickname, and Dirk runs away, feeling embarrassed. Now, Sam and Dean go to Dirk's father's house to learn more about him. They discover that Dirk Jr. died at 18 due to drugs. Dirk Sr. regrets not having helped his son and tells about the problems he faced at school, like bullying and being called Dirk the Jerk, and his financial difficulties. This makes Sam feel guilty about having treated Dirk badly, especially after learning about the challenges he faced, like taking care of his mother who was sick with cancer. Dirk's father explains how seeing his mother suffering deeply affected Dirk, increasing his anger. Dean asks about Dirk's grave, but the father reveals that he was cremated. However, he keeps a lock of Dirk's hair in his Bible, which is inside the school bus. The story now takes place inside a bus, where Eddie, the substitute driver, seems to be acting strange, as if being controlled by Dirk's spirit. Eddie drives dangerously, making the passengers worried, but Sam and Dean are ready to act. They find a way to make the bus stop brutally. They quickly restrain Eddie, who is possessed by Dirk, using a rope soaked in salt water. Meanwhile, Dean searches for the Bible inside the bus, but doesn't find it. Sam talks with Eddie, who vents about how he suffered bullying and desires revenge against the bullies and popular kids at school. Sam argues that no one is completely evil. Everyone is a victim of fear and sadness in a difficult environment like high school. He regrets that Dirk and Barry didn't have the chance to see life beyond these difficult moments. In a tense moment, possessed Eddie breaks free from the rope, and Sam is forced to shoot him to stop him. Dirk's spirit leaves Eddie's body and enters the strongest team member, who attacks Sam. While Sam is getting beaten, Dean searches Eddie's body and finds a lock of Dirk's hair, which he burns with his Zippo lighter. As the hair burns, Dirk's spirit goes away, turning into ashes carried by the wind. The possessed team member then falls on top of Sam. Back to 1997. Amanda catches Dean with another girl in the locker room. She doesn't get angry, but she gets sad, saying she expected more from him than just being popular. Dean tries to explain, saying he's a hero who saves lives, but Amanda realizes he's just pretending and calls him sad and lonely before leaving. Meanwhile, Sam is praised for confronting Dirk, becoming more popular among his classmates. Now, their father calls Dean, saying it's time to leave. Dean quickly goes to the car, asking Sam to come along. As Sam looks up, he sees Barry in the classroom window with a sad face. Sam waves goodbye, gets in the car, and they leave, leaving Barry with an uncertain fate. Now, Sam follows his plan to visit Mr. Wyatt, who recognizes him with a memory. Sam thanks Mr. Wyatt for his advice, which encouraged him to make his own choices instead of just following what the family does. Sam tells that he went to college because of Mr. Wyatt, but now, being older, adult life brings more responsibilities. Mr. Wyatt emphasizes that Sam's happiness is the most important thing. The episode ends with Sam realizing he doesn't have a clear answer if he's really happy with his life. Did you like the summary of an episode of the series? Write in the comments so we can continue bringing summaries of episodes besides movies. So until the next recap,